abortion and the Comstock Laws, as well as reproduction prevention. I'm sure everybody is familiar with Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade in 1973 gives women the legal option to choose to get an abortion. Just keep in mind that this is in the 1970s, and if you're looking at the abortion rights history, there is a series of women and events that is pretty horrific. In this particular chart here, you see a list going back to the 1800s of defendants, primarily the doctors here, the type of doctor, the woman in question, which pretty much means that this doctor performed some sort of procedure on this woman, and in this case, the woman died, and the person is being charged with manslaughter. So it's pretty horrible. People are going to jail. People are going to lose their lives, and that's from the 1800s going all the way up until, I don't know, I guess Roe v. Wade, and then that creates another series of problems. So one of the way women can perform this particular procedure, keep in mind it is illegal. They could do what's called a self-induced abortion, where they're pretty much performing the procedure on their own, and the methods are pretty horrific. Looking at this particular section here, the use of scissors could definitely be something that is horrible, but that shows the measures women were willing to go through in order to try to get this particular procedure. Here I've given you a text of a law from Oregon. Keep in mind it says here that if there's any person, so the doctor could be the person here, and if they're using an instrument, a drug, or a substance, and if the intent is to destroy a child, that's where the problem is. So this is in the 1860s, and that is just a law targeting abortion. So prevention becomes yet another issue, and that's where Anthony Comstock comes in. So prevention, the use of a Grafenberg ring or the cervical cap or some sort of instrument could all be designed, practice as a way to try to abort a child. And again, that's what brings us back to this particular chart. We've already addressed the issue of the charges, and then once again, we see the victims. So in this particular slide here, we see the text of the law. This is the Comstock Law. Keep in mind here, we're concerned about articles or things. Keep in mind here the word intent. So if you're intending for the perception of conception or procuring of abortion, that's where they seem to have an issue. So this is weird because just think about this scenario here. If the argument was that consuming a peanut butter and onion sandwich was a way for you to, prevent a child, prevent conception, you would be in violation of this particular law here, depending on certain circumstances. For example, let's just say you put this on a pamphlet. If you eat 5 peanut butter onion sandwiches and avoid getting pregnant, that could be a way for you to get your word out as far as educating people. However, since you are trying to educate people, this could be viewed as obscene. If it's written or printed, could be problematic. Keep in mind if you're using an article, the instrument could also be something. If you just have something in your possession, like that Grafenberg ring, that could definitely be problematic. So just possessing the Grafenberg ring could be an issue where you are violating the Comstock laws. If you're taking your pamphlet and you're placing that into the mailbox, and that is something that is rented or printed, even though the image of the peanut butter jelly is not, or the peanut butter onion sandwich is not obscene, when you attach the intent of it that you can consume 5 of these peanut butter onion sandwiches and not get pregnant, that is where the obscene factor kicks in. Keep in mind also that there are a series of individuals who are working in the 1800s, like Margaret Sanger, one of the founding members of Planned Parenthood. Emma Goldman comes up with the term birth control, and Madame Restell, a woman who is definitely trying to work to get women access to education. And of course, the person here that is either considered the hero or the villain, depending on which side of the argument you're on, Anthony Comstock, who is trying to enforce this particular Comstock law. Madame Restell, just a little bit on her. Madame Restell was performing procedures and helping women, pregnant women. And notice the gap here, $20 for poor women, $100 for wealthy clientele. She was known to have, advertisements. So that's what you see here, these ads that are female monthly pills, and she's somebody that's on the list, and eventually she is arrested, found guilty for violating the Comstock laws, and rather than go to jail, she opts to just commit suicide. And again, the history is pretty horrific. You know, there are a lot of women who lose their lives. Some of the leaders wind up committing suicide, and that becomes their method to challenge the Comstock laws and some of the abortion laws that existed in the country. In this particular scenario here, the woman in question has, let's say, the Grafenberg ring. The fact that she has this in possession says that she is in violation, because remember, you're not allowed to have any sort of instrument. Here comes Anthony Comstock, and they'll probably say something like, where are you going with that Grafenberg ring? You know, don't you know that you're not supposed to have that? That article is obscene. I know you're going to go into your particular home and you're going to engage in sexual act to avoid getting pregnant. Because of that, you're going to get arrested. Notice how she's leaving the Planned Parenthood facility. In this situation, she has the Grafenberg ring in her purse. Maybe the Comstock or the enforcing officer sees her leave this particular building, and once again, the conversation. What's in that purse? What do you got there? I don't have anything. I know you got that Grafenberg ring and you went and got it from Margaret Sanger. Maybe he gets the warrant, searches, finds a Grafenberg ring. She is in violation of the Comstock law. She is in possession of this item, and you know she has the intent of preventing conception or procuring an abortion. That's problematic and violation of the Comstock law. In this situation, she has the card that is saying, advising her to consume the 5 peanut butter onion sandwiches. She also has the Grafenberg ring, and once again, here comes Mr. Comstock. Where are you going with that card? I know that card is designed to tell people. Where do you think you're going? You're going to pass that along to people? Just because you have something that is a pamphlet, that would count as a pamphlet. It is educating people, and it has the intent, and once again, the outcome is prevention of conception. This example here, she is trying to put the item in the mailbox. And if she's putting the item in the mailbox, once again, Comstock's going to come in. And remember, in the law, you cannot even use the postal service for this. Where are you going? You think you're going to put that in the mail? You're going to send it to somebody, and that person is going to be educated on how to prevent an abortion or prevent a child. You can't do that. That's in violation of the Comstock law. And she's probably going to find herself arrested. And that's it on the Comstock laws.